What if the cold was not just weather, but a constant threat to survival? What if stepping outside could freeze your breath mid-air, turn metal brittle, and make silence louder than sound? Imagine a place where temperatures plunge below -60 degrees Celsius, where the sun offers little comfort, and where winter dominates life itself. This place is real. It is called Oymyakon, the coldest permanently inhabited settlement on Earth. But the question remains, why would anyone choose to live here? How do children walk to school when eyelashes turn to ice? How do families cook, work, and sleep when the ground beneath them never truly thaws? What happens when water freezes instantly, vehicles must run non-stop, and mistakes can cost lives within minutes? Is survival here driven by tradition, by necessity, or by a strength the modern world has forgotten? In Oymyakon, comfort does not exist, but the community does. So what truly keeps people here? Is it stubborn resilience, ancestral roots, or an identity shaped by extreme hardship? What does life mean when nature holds absolute power? As we step deeper into this frozen world, we are not just uncovering a village. We are questioning the limits of human endurance and asking ourselves an unsettling question. How much hardship would we endure to call a place home? And perhaps the most unsettling question of all remains: what would happen to us if modern conveniences disappeared overnight? Would we adapt or would we break? Oymyakon is not just a place on the map, it is a living test of human will. A reminder that survival is not about technology alone, but about mindset, memory, and the unbreakable decision to endure, no matter how cold the world becomes. What does warmth mean in a place where fire is survival, not comfort? Where homes are built to trap heat like treasure, and stepping outside without preparation can be fatal. In Oymyakon, cold is not a season, it is a ruler. It decides how long you can stand, how far you can travel, and how quickly life can disappear. Can humans truly adapt to such extremes, or are they simply enduring day by day? How does food survive when the earth is frozen solid year-round? When farming is impossible and the ground refuses to give anything back, what do people eat and how do they survive? Meat freezes like stone, bread turns hard within minutes, and refrigerators are useless in a land that is already colder than ice. Does living here change the meaning of hunger, patience, and gratitude? What happens to dreams in a place where survival comes before ambition? Do children imagine futures beyond the ice, or does the cold shape their hopes as firmly as it shapes their lives? When the outside world feels unimaginably distant, does leaving feel like freedom or betrayal? And when staying means hardship, what kind of strength does it take to call this frozen land home? Modern life promises ease, speed, and comfort, but Oymyakon offers none of these. No shortcuts, no mercy, no forgiveness for mistakes. So what does progress look like here? Is it measured in technology or in the ability to endure another winter? When everything familiar is stripped away, what remains of human resilience? And finally, the question that lingers beneath the ice: are places like Oymyakon warnings or lessons? Warnings of nature's power over human ambition, or lessons about adaptability, unity, and quiet strength? As we move deeper into this frozen settlement, remember this: Oymyakon is not trying to impress the world. It is simply surviving it and asking whether we could do the same. Imagine stepping outside and instantly feeling your lungs freeze. The air is so cold it burns with every inhale. Welcome to Oymyakon. The coldest permanently inhabited place on Earth. Temperatures here can plunge below -71 degrees Celsius, turning every breath into a cloud of sparkling ice. Hair freezes on your face, fingers and toes numb within minutes. A frozen wolf lies untouched in the snow, a reminder that even movement is life-saving here. Carefully prepared to avoid freezing engines, every kilometer is a battle against nature. A step closer to an environment that tests human endurance like nowhere else on Earth. We board the plane east, hours drifting over Siberia's frozen expanse. After landing in Yakutsk, a grueling 18-hour drive awaits. Ice stretches endlessly in all directions, roads slick and treacherous. Abandoned vehicles lie half buried in snow, tires rock solid, engines frozen. Any mistake could leave travelers stranded in the bitter cold. The air stings the skin as soon as we step outside. Even layered clothing, thick reindeer coats, boots, gloves, thermal pants, cannot fully protect from the biting wind. Visibility is often low, frost forming on eyelashes and eyebrows instantly. Every step must be deliberate, calculated, and purposeful. Oymyakon's homes are architectural marvels of survival. Thick wooden beams over permafrost form stable bases. Logs, insulation, plaster, and interior wood panels trap heat. Triple glazed windows seal warmth inside. Central coal boilers operate 24/7. Even a short outage can be catastrophic. Entryways remain unheated, serving as natural freezers for meat, milk, and vegetables. Water pipes are non-existent. Residents rely on river ice or blocks of stored frozen water. Children are layered in multiple garments before stepping outside to school. Temperatures below -55 degrees Celsius make walking even a few hundred meters a dangerous endeavor. Even the simplest task in Oymyakon demands strategy. People plan their day around the sun and temperature. Cooking, fetching water, and going to the market are calculated risks. Outside, snow reflects a blinding light. Inside, homes are warm but small. Families huddle close to coal stoves, sharing body heat, stories, and meals. Every gesture, every routine is amplified by the extreme cold. It shapes human behavior in ways unimaginable elsewhere. I walk alongside a local resident, and his movements are practiced, almost mechanical. He bends to scoop frozen snow, melts it over a small stove, and filters it for drinking. One mistake here, and dehydration or frostbite is almost guaranteed. He explains how even minor errands, like feeding animals or chopping firewood, require precise timing and layering of clothes. Gloves, thick socks, multiple layers of thermal wear, scarves wrapped tightly around the face. Still, fingers tingle and toes ache within minutes. Children leave for school bundled head to toe, tiny figures struggling through snowdrifts. Teachers monitor every step. A simple walk to class can become life-threatening when temperatures plummet. The resilience is astonishing. These kids laugh and run, oblivious to the life-threatening cold. But every move is instinctively cautious. Snowballs glisten, icicles hang from rooftops, and clouds of vapor emerge with every breath. You realize that laughter itself is a form of courage here. As I venture deeper into the village, the landscape reveals its raw, harsh beauty. The sun barely peaks above the horizon, casting elongated shadows across a frozen world. Mountains loom in the distance, snow-capped and silent, their peaks piercing the pale sky. The wind whistles, carrying a sharp, almost metallic edge. Even wildlife has adapted. Reindeer migrate. Foxes and wolves roam cautiously, leaving footprints that freeze instantly. A single misstep outside can be deadly, not just for humans, but for animals too. The locals show me their ingenious survival techniques. Houses are built slightly above the ground to avoid melting snow from destabilizing foundations. Coal boilers run continuously. Small stoves are used to preheat rooms before anyone enters. They store frozen blocks of water for cooking, and meat is naturally preserved outside, acting as freezers. Community cooperation is essential. Neighbors share fuel, monitor each other's health, and assist in emergencies. It's not just survival. It's a way of life molded entirely by temperature, isolation, and nature's extremes. I notice that time seems different here. A day can last hours in the sun or vanish in long, cold shadows. Meals are simple: stews, dried fish, and preserved meats. Hot drinks are constant companions, keeping internal temperature stable. Even the act of eating is deliberate, warming food enough to be edible without losing precious heat. Hygiene routines are modified. Washing is minimal, often using snow as water, always mindful of the immediate frostbite danger. Night descends quickly, faster than anywhere else. Temperatures drop further, and the frozen landscape takes on an eerie blue hue. Ice crystals form in the air, glinting under the weak sunlight that barely peeks over the horizon. The wind carries stories of the land. Past generations who survived worse, storms that reshaped villages, wolves that patrol silently, and rivers frozen solid for months. Residents retreat indoors, layering further, tending stoves and sharing stories, keeping warmth, morale, and tradition alive. As I stand outside in the night air, looking at Oymyakon's frozen streets, I can see why this place is both feared and revered. Every element, the architecture, the routines, the human behavior, the animals, the wind, and the snow, is a lesson in resilience. To live here is to negotiate constantly with nature, to respect its rules, and to embrace both its beauty and its danger. It's a village shaped entirely by cold, where life persists, not because it's easy, but because the inhabitants have mastered endurance, innovation, and community spirit. Even simple joys, like a child throwing a snowball, smoke rising from a chimney, or the golden hour's brief sunlight glinting on icicles, become profound. Every moment is amplified, every sensation heightened. Living here is survival intertwined with awe, where the extreme cold doesn't just challenge life, it defines it. As dawn breaks once more, I walk through the village again, noticing details I missed before. The way icicles hang from eaves like frozen crystals, how every roof is angled to shed snow, and how even the animals have routines adapted to the unforgiving climate. Elders sit by stoves telling tales of winters past, children slide down snowdrifts, and families carefully manage every resource. The depth of planning and adaptation here is astonishing. Survival is an art form, passed through generations. Throughout the day, I see that life in Oymyakon is a rhythm between extreme conditions and ingenious human adaptation. Every movement outside is tactical, every indoor moment a celebration of warmth. The villagers have learned patience, resilience, and respect for the harsh yet beautiful environment. Nature dominates, but humans have carved a space to not just survive, but to thrive in their own extraordinary way. By evening, the aurora starts shimmering faintly above the horizon. Its dancing colors reflect on the ice, creating a magical tapestry across the village. Locals gather outside for a few moments, gazing in silent admiration, feeling a connection to nature that is both humbling and uplifting. Stories of ancestors, survival, and community echo in every glance and gesture. This is not just life, this is endurance in its most beautiful form. As night deepens, I reflect on what I've witnessed. Oymyakon is more than just the coldest inhabited place on Earth. It's a testament to human endurance, creativity, and spirit. It shows how life can flourish even in extremes, where every breath, every step, and every decision is an act of courage and intelligence. The lessons here are timeless. Respect nature, prepare wisely, value community, and cherish the warmth of human connection amidst the coldest silence imaginable.